RAIDER reactions for mature audiences only. So if you can't stand the heat, stay away from the fire.
What's up, Raider Nation? Happy Monday. I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from the confines of the new and improved Hardcore Challenge Live Studios, featuring the ReACTIon Green Room. And it's very easy to find. Very simple directions. And I know it's been a long weekend. You know, you've probably been into the adult beverages, the herbal refreshments. What? So let me give you some simple directions. It's just down the street, past the house with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop at the corner and ask my man Joe. He's a Raider fan, he's a gentleman, he's a scholar, and he's gonna point you in the right damn direction. Slip him what you should. He's gonna tell you to take a left and then a right. And as you find yourself strolling down the street minding your own goddamn business, you're gonna feel this cool breeze hit you as you pass this deep dark alley to your immediate right. And you find yourself asking, damn, was that the autumn wind? You goddamn right. It's training camp tomorrow. You goddamn right. Should you venture down that deep dark alley? Well, of course you should, because what you're going to find at the end is a special little place that we like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction, and we have a very special Monday edition tonight, a little solo edition with yours truly, a little extra solo commish on a Monday, as I thought There are so many things to talk about as we are pre-training camp, on the eve of training camp, where basically this is the 2019 season. I mean, this is it, man. It's right here. So there's just so much to talk about, and Big L is probably going to stop in most likely tomorrow and join me for the Raider Nation Report, and we'll do a quick breakdown of everything training camp day one. But there is so much going on and so much to talk about going in to training camp. But let's get right to that. Oh, and I would like to note, training camp is tomorrow, and Martavius Bryant and Alden Smith are still sitting on a bar stool somewhere waiting for a call from Roger Goodell. So that's all that we need to mention about those two individuals, the rest of training camp. So let's get that out of the way. Now, some of the big questions coming into training camp. I want to start with one of them, and I thought it was pretty good, because I noticed one of the website, I believe Raiders Wire, had it up as one of their top questions coming in as well. And it's one of mine also. One of the few dynamic players that showed up and played last season was Jared Cook, our one and only representative at the Pro Bowl in 2018. He's left the team. He deserved to get a big payday. He's late in his career. He had a Pro Bowl year. He was a shining star on a team that was clearly rebuilding, and he went out and did what he was supposed to do, and he's going to go get a paycheck. That leaves a question at tight end. Darren Waller has obviously has a lot of buzz around him, and he seems to be the heir apparent that will step in for Jared Cook. But Cook we're talking a Pro Bowl, elite, top 10 type tight end. I know you all play fantasy football. I do. That's where I got the moniker the Commish. How many top flight tight ends are there out there when you're trying to build your fantasy football team? You're trying to fill the roster week to week. Statistically, they don't put out a lot. Is he going to be used as a blocking back, like Elaine just alluded to? Possibly. The fact that you had no wide receiving core last year made it a necessity for Jared Cook to be used the way that he was, and statistically, he benefited. But that's not the type of tight end that John Gruden wants. And I believe the type of tight end is along the Darren Waller, Derek Carrier you've got in the mix. Luke Wilson they brought in. You've got Foster Moreau and Paul Butler also in the mix as well. Luke Wilson, interesting because he's coming in with your playoff pedigree. The guy that's coming in with the most experience. And I think he's probably to fill in and help carry the load if maybe these younger guys are ready to step up. You've got to have that veteran to fall back on. Gruden's always been big about that. And so that's a very interesting position to look at coming into training camp, is tight end. That is for sure. So we will see. Darren Waller, he's got some buzz around him coming in. So we'll see. That's a big question. Offensive line is also a big. What do you got there, Robert? I agree. That was the thing. Cook was going to demand way too much money for what we were going to be able to pay him in this offseason. And I'm telling you that we're not looking at using a tight end like that. Look at the wide receiving core that's been brought in, which we'll touch on that here shortly. One of my big questions coming into training camp is, which obviously the majority of Raider Nation, is the line in front of Derek Carr. That is one of my biggest concerns. It was obviously one of our biggest, liabilities last season on the offensive side of the ball. Tried to address it. Because obviously we've seen the position coming as a position of need with Donald Penn going down in recent years, and he was already long in the tooth and was recycled and picked up off the turf from Tampa Bay anyway. So we knew that was going to happen. They tried to pick up Sharp 2 years ago from Florida. That didn't work out really. And so then they went and they grabbed Colton Miller. Now I've had several discussions on Colton Miller. I'm not sold on this kid, and I'm still not sold on the fact that Colton Miller is going to be the left tackle going forward. I honestly believe you don't bring in Brown and pay him that kind of money to stick him at right tackle. It's insane money for a right tackle. So I still believe that's why they brought him in. Yes, if Miller goes out there and they see that Miller's got what it takes, he's progressed, he's healthy, and he looks good, they'll probably run with him. But don't think if you get this, he's going to be on a short freaking leash, man. If that kid ain't healthy, if that kid lets one clean shot come in DC's way, there's a good possibility you see a change come to the next week and you see the guys switch bookends. I think they're going to practice it. I think they're going to work on it in preseason. And I see Brown, man, the fact they paid that kind of money for him to stick him at right tackle, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. Mario, that's why you're a top fan, my man. Took it right out of my mouth. Next question. You're talking about the ends. Hudson's great up the middle, but what about next to him? Got Gabe Jackson on one side, but you got a big hole on the other side. That's concerning. It's concerning. That's your left side. That's your left guard. Richie Incognito is out for 2 weeks. So that means you're now plugging the hole with Jonathan Cooper. Jonathan Cooper's a guy who's even had a hard time staying on a roster over the past several years. He was cut before on late September cuts last year, and then he was brought in to fill a gap late in the season, and then he got hurt. So he's a stopgap. So you're starting the first 2 games of the season, divisional games, mind you, against the Donkeys and the Queefs. And we've got questions at left tackle. We've got a stopgap probably starting at left guard, and a platinum right tackle. Because with what you're paying that guy, he's not even gold star material, dude. That's platinum. You got a platinum right tackle right now. That's not even our quarterback's blind side, ladies and gentlemen. You pay that kind of money for guys guarding the blind side of your franchise quarterback. That is not Derek Carr's blind side. We stuck a rookie there last year. I seen a couple shots that he took that were clean with guys coming around the end beating Colton Miller that made me sit up in my seat and cringe. I don't want to see our franchise quarterback taking hits like that. It scares the hell out of me. I had one Christmas Eve ruined already. I don't need another Sunday or season squandered because of somebody doing an ole. No. What's up, Jimmy? What's up, Carl? What's up, everybody? Thank you all for joining me as always. I appreciate each and every one of you stopping in, spending any time with us here at Raider Reaction. Thank each and every one of you. Please stay tuned to the page. Join our Facebook group, the Raider Reaction Dark Side, if you haven't joined it yet. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. We got a lot coming up for this season. We're going to be, we've got pirate pages already planted all over social media. We're going to be streaming fucking everything. We're going to be streaming Hard Knocks, the preseason games, the regular season games, and of course, we're going to have reaction shows after every one. So when you get done watching Hard Knocks and you want to talk about it, you just come right here. We're going to be talking about it. Everybody's going to be chatting it up, talking about it, and we'll break it down. As soon as it goes, credits are rolling, we're going live. Same way we do at the games, same way we do it preseason. So gives you somewhere to come, because, what other time do you want to talk about it than directly after you watched it? What's up, Alonzo? Message the page, my man. Message the page. I would love to. Somebody say purple drink? Let me talk about purple drink, man. Jawaros comes running. Yeah, message, hit me up at the RAIDER ReACTION page, Alonzo. I would love to, my man. I would love to. But that's concerning to me. It's concerning. We're already going in to the first 2 weeks of the season with a fucking scabbed up line in front of our boy. Is that not concerning to you? That's one of the most concerning things to me. That's one of the biggest concerning things to me. Now, I would like to introduce you guys to everybody. He's some of you, if you haven't met him yet, I would like you to introduce. It was a long debate with me and my many personalities as to who was going to be the voodoo doll for 2018. So I would like to introduce those of you watching who haven't yet seen who our voodoo doll is for 2018. And we decided to go with the little Patrick Mahomes voodoo doll because he's going to make Andy Reid Mahomes by the end of the season. And Raider Nation already voted to stab his little ass once right through the heart. I mean, and we impaled him. I mean, it was just shit all the way through. We're not messing around. We're going to help the Madden curse along. We've got to do our share. It only seems right. 19. I'm sorry. Did I say 18? Good Lord. I'm living in the past. If I said 19. Hell, I don't know. Rewind! I meant 19. But it's 18. So our 2019 voodoo doll. So I think, we should really step things up because our voodoo doll last year failed. Just didn't see that punch. I think that was because we waited too long. So I think we need to do him up again, just to get things started off right. So I'll let you guys pick. We got a right eyeball. Byron specific. He's like, I heard he ain't quite got perfect vision out of his left eye, so fucking take his right out. Ooh, we're going to talk about that in a second, Kendall. Great question, my man. Stabbed him in the arm. The heart. We already got the heart once, Jack. Do we do it again? We've already taken the heart out of Mahomes for the season. Voodoo, voodoo, voodoo. Wee wee. Left Achilles. I like it. I like it. It's specific. I like it. Damn, jukebox. That's brutal. All right. So we got that covered. So let's get back. I wanted to make sure everybody got the pleasure of meeting Mr. Mahomes. We'll be visiting him as the season goes along, but we got him taken care of for the moment. Oh man, somebody called him. Oh damn it! Somebody called him, man. Good Lord. Great. Now I got to deal with that little bastard the whole show. Fucking lovely. Lovely. All right. Moving along. One of the other biggest concerns, obviously, coming into training camp, running back. Beast mode is no more. I know, it's unfortunate, man. Game over for the Beast.
Game over.
Didn't quite ever get what we wanted to see out of Marshawn Lynch, unfortunately. I mean, it was great. He had these little bright spots. I was in Miami when he had the 2-touchdown game in 17 when they won. He's had some moments, but it was just unfortunate that we never got that iconic playoff or push from beast mode or anything like that. It's just unfortunate we did never have the team around him, and when we did, he just wasn't healthy. He's at the end of his road, and I would have loved to had him in the Buffalo days or the prime in the Seattle days, but it is what it is, and at least he got a ride out into the sunset in the silver and black like he should have. Jacobs, it's not my... Jacobs he's not a concern. My concern at running back is more our depth. Josh Jacobs is obviously an interesting addition to the team. Top running back in the draft. A phenomenal talent. He's hungry. I think he's the kind of kid that's going to go out there. Marcel Reese has had great things to say about him. Marcus Allen's had great things to say about him. The kid looks good. So, having him, he's still a rookie. So you're going in knowing a rookie's your number one. Behind him, I guess you got Jalen Richard. He stepped up last year. I believe it's his. This 2 spot is his to lose. Now, I've seen people saying that Doug Martin's a lock at the 3. If Doug Martin's a lock at the 3, man, no. Please send Doug Martin packing. I do not want to see Doug Martin on the depth chart coming into the 2019 season. Not again. Yes, he got a little bit of action last year in garbage time when, oh my God, no. What is the biggest upside of having Doug Martin? If that's the type of depth we need at running back, then we're in big fucking trouble. Eric, a lot of people want Chris Warren III to make the roster because of that phenomenal preseason they saw last year. I agree, Elaine. No upside. He's just man. If you're just gonna have somebody to fill roster space and be there for emergency situations, go get a young body, somebody that possibly has an upside. That if you give them a chance, they could shine. If you give Doug Martin a chance, he's not going to shine. He's dull. He's fucking tarnished. He's never going to shine. He's a turd. I don't care how much you polish a turd. It won't shine. Who's my favorite Raider football player? Well, his goddamn birthday is today. That's who my favorite Raider football player is. And if you don't know by the number that I wear on my jersey, and you don't know by who my favorite Raider football player is, I think you can figure it out. And it's his birthday today, July 22nd. It's his birthday today. One of the greatest receivers of all time. So, you got D-Wash still in the mix. D-Wash, we talked about him coming into last offseason, as him and Richard are basically clones. And Washington went down with an injury in last preseason training camp. So, Richard, by way of injury, won that battle. That was going to be a battle going through preseason. Richard, who had the fumble issues in 17, fixed those in 18, and was, like Jared Cook, I would say was the other shining star last year. Was Jared Cook and Jalen Richard on offense. Those two. But besides our quarterback, I think Carr did well in the second half of the season and really impressed a lot with his fortitude. Standing in there under fire with a fucking Swiss cheese line in front of him. Nobody to throw the ball to except for Jared Cook. I liked Washington. Coming into last year, Washington was the guy I was leaning towards him, and I wanted to see Richard out. But Richard made me a believer last year. And I think D-Wash is out. I think D-Wash is out. He's going to be on the outside looking in. I believe there's enough hype around Chris Warren III that you are going to see him be the fourth. But I do not believe your number 3 is Doug Martin. I believe there is somebody that is cut off of another team. Somebody out there that is not on our roster right now is going to fill that 3. I don't think that 3 is on roster. I think there's going to be a move made. Gruden's going to make a move when waivers, the first waivers off of the final roster cuts are made. Or is that big crazy trade going to happen? I don't think it would be a running back. I don't. I've seen some stupid mentions of Ezekiel Elliott and Gordon and other guys. And Gordon's obviously more realistic because they got contract issues. But I don't think with you going to get Josh Jacobs, you go and get a guy like that is going to challenge him immediately for the starting position. I think with what you did getting Jacobs, you have to come in and give that kid the vote of confidence and at least come out of the gate with his back. I think you still got to come out of the gate with his back. So you don't bring somebody in like that, or you wouldn't have went and got Josh Jacobs when you got him. That's my belief. That's how I feel. So I don't think that's a realistic. Hell yeah, he's injury prone. That motherfucker's fragile. Damn right he is, JD. He's injury prone as hell. He be fragile. What? So that's another one of my concerns. Another Gore. Frank Gore. That's an interesting. Man, Frank Gore still wants to play, man. That's an interesting one there. Because, man, you only need a guy who's going to come in and fill in. If the shit goes bad, you need to change the pace for that. Frank Gore. God damn, that guy's like Moses. Fucking been around forever. Won't be traded to the AFC West. No, I agree with you. I agree with you, Chris. Absolutely not. I agree with you. He will not be traded to the AFC West. Now, one of my other concerns is, I'm excited as everybody else is. You got 84-4, man. You got the new hookup, DC to AB. We're all excited about it. We got Terrell Williams coming in. You've added Ryan Grant, JJ Nelson. And then you've got the rookie Hunter Renfrow. You've got all of these guys, which makes us excited about all of these weapons he has. He doesn't have Jared Cook anymore, so it's going to be a new tight end. Now that's all great, and yes, we want to see change and everything. But do you stop and think? This is a guy, our quarterback, Derek Carr, who's going to come in with an entirely new wide receiving core this year. I mean, completely new. We didn't keep anybody. I mean, Marcel Aitman, Saheed Blacknall's even gone. He's got Ryan Grant, J.J. Nelson, Terrell Williams, Hunter Renfrow, Antonio Brown, an entirely new wide receiving core. The core 5, excuse me, good question. The core 5, I would have to say, if you had to guess one, pin one down right out of the gate, it would be Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams, J.J. Nelson. I kind of agree with JD. I think one of these guys doesn't make it. Hunter Renfrow is going to get a shot. He's going to be in there. I think it's going to come down to J.J. Nelson. I agree. J.J. Nelson or Ryan Grant, one of those probably not going to make it. I think there's a good possibility of Marcel Aitman making it. Dwayne Harris, you've got him in the mix still. He's still on your wide receiver depth chart because he is your special teams freaking guru. So because he's a special teams phenom, he's going to take one of your wide receiver spots. So he takes a spot on your wide receiver roster as well. So Doss is in there too. He's an interest. J.J. Nelson, when you look at him statistically, he's almost a mere goddamn image of Seth Roberts statistically. You just hope he's got better hands and he fucking finally shows an upside that Seth Roberts never showed. He's a little quicker, and I think he's a little better route runner than Seth Roberts, but statistically, they are goddamn near the same. Ryan Grant looked good as the number 2 for fucking Neckbeard last year. But that's really was his, last year was kind of his coming out party. So is he good? Is he that guy you want to see at number 3? There's a damn good possibility that they roll the dice and Renfroe, if he has a good training camp in preseason, could win that spot. It's a very good possibility that they roll the dice with the rookie there. You're going with the freaking rookie running back, with some of this talent, so we'll see. But wide receiver is very interesting when you think that it's a completely new wide receiver course. So it's not like, hey, this is how we do it here. No. None of them know how they do it here. They just don't. So it's going to be very interesting. But I know we are all excited for training camp. And it's tomorrow. It's upon us. And is there a bigger question coming into training camp than what the hell is going to happen on the defensive side of the ball? I don't think he's that fast as Jacoby Ford. Eric, I think Jacoby Ford's got him in the speed category, I think. But I could see that comparison. I think Jacoby Ford's a little faster. He was more of a speedster return guy. The defense. Can we get a pass rush? What's going to go on at corner? How's our linebacker play going to be? What's going to happen at safety? We've got all this goddamn Carl Joseph rumors, which make me sick to my stomach. The thought of losing him. Man, I love the way Carl Joseph lit people up last year at the line. The way he came in and with reckless abandon and played like a throwback safety of old. I loved it. And then I hear these trade rumors about getting rid of the kid. Like, what the... No. Don't get rid of Carl Joseph, man. This is... No. I just don't think that. But let's first on the defensive side of the ball. Let's talk about pass rush. Can we generate one? That's that's obviously what we tried to address. First overall pick for us this season. Cleveland Farrell. It's obviously what we tried to address. Arden Key, Mo Hurst. This is what we've tried to address. We've added talent at linebacker that should help in that. Vontez Perfect should bring that nasty. It's very similar to what we talked about with the wide receivers. How across the board, it's a complete overhaul. A complete overhaul. I mean, let's just look at the linebacking core. We look at what's going on up front, and they could work out, Eric. The guys that we've added up front, I want to see. I hope Arden Key comes in a little bigger and has really hit the weight room, because I think, what's up, Lines? I think with a little size, a little strength, that kid could be good. But a linebacker, a huge position of need. That's, Christ. We had 2 years ago, we had the Perry Riley Jr. all fucking offseason. Then it was Navarro Bowman. And then it was, oh my God. We've been trying to find this fucking diamond in the rough. Derek Johnson. And, oh, Jesus Christ. So now we're trying it again. Went and got Vontez Perfect. But the thing is, Vontez Perfect has a lot of history with our defensive coordinator. So that could be a decent fit. Could be okay. Jason Kabenda. interesting. Tavon Coney, Koa Farmer, Marquell Lee, Brandon Marshall, Nicholas Morrow, Tahir Whitehead, Kyle Wilbur. Those are the guys we're looking at plucking through. I mean, obviously the high points across there. Tahir Whitehead, Nicholas Morrow, both have Morrow. He's still kind of Whitehead is a little iffy as well. He's had shining moments. Brandon Marshall, we're hoping obviously to see something out of him as he's coming over in silver and black. Marquell Lee is still a question mark. Still a question mark. His pass covering ability and his size has been a little bit of a question at some time. Although he did step up a little bit last year. Kabinda, still kind of a question mark as well. Vontaze Burfict is you're really hoping is going to be that guy. He's going to come in and be that quarterback on the defense that's able to call plays, that's kind of able to direct traffic out there. We will see. We will see. We will see. But it's definitely going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. The cornerbacks, when you're looking at the corners, I mean, Garyon Conley obviously is the guy you're looking at up front, and you're looking at Darryl Worley most likely on the other side with the mix-in of Trayvon Mullen, the rookie, big in the national championship game the year before. You've seen the tape of him going up against AB. It looks like he's got good hips and footwork. This kid, he could be that dark horse, that little wild card in our secondary. He's interesting. He's interesting. So, and you got Nick Nelson, the rookie from last year, who you can't count out whatsoever. Exactly, Isaiah. He was an absolute beast at Clemson, man. And so, basically in the draft, we went and cherry-picked off the two best teams in college football. That doesn't seem like a bad thing, does it? I mean, if you're going to go select talent out of the farm system, wouldn't you take it off the teams that have been competing for championships at the positions of need that you need? Seems like a smart choice, don't you think? So I don't know why everybody questions our draft. And I tell you what, the hater stories this offseason are just fucking off the charts. With the Raider fucking trashing lately, it's getting quite sickening. ESPN, I don't know how many fucking others. It's getting ridiculous. See, every day it seems like there's a story about how crappy our draft was, how we're not going to compete for 3 years, how this sucks, that sucks, our fucking water boy sucks, everything sucks. You know, the guy folding the towels is doing it wrong. Quite frankly, fuck them. We don't really care what they think.
In your face, sucker!
At all. So, whatsoever. But corners, safeties. My biggest concern of safety is getting rid of Carl Joseph. And we brought in Joyner, which, is a great addition because he's kind of a hybrid safety. He can cover the slot. But you draft Abram in the first round, so he's going to work in somewhere. Eric Harris comes up out of nowhere last year. And then picking up Joyner. At least Carl Joseph, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Was I the only one that's seen it? This kid was lighting people up at the line. I love a safety that's going to get a flag every once in a while for fucking making his presence known. That's what a safety should be. I don't know. All this trade talk, there's gonna be a Gruden move before the season starts. That's what I'm saying, Izzy. Me too, man. there's going to be a Gruden move before the season starts. I mean, if last year didn't teach us something, I'm telling you, running back is a distinct possibility. You hear all this talk of Joseph. Does that mean somebody's already heard something in the back rooms and whispers that we shouldn't? It's a good comparison, Byron. That's a great freaking comparison. Bob Sanders from the University of Iowa. Hawkeye. That dude lit people up, man. I like Carl Joseph. I thought he really stepped it up last year. So I don't know what unless, they just see that everybody else sees that he stepped it up last year, and maybe they can get some value out of him. Maybe that's why you hear all these trade rumors. But I don't know, man. I think Carl Joseph, that's pulling the trigger on him too quick, and I would really like to see him. I'd really like to see him stay around. Too quick. It's too quick on that. So, don't want to see that. I want to see Joseph stick around a little while longer. But, man, when you've got 4 guys right there who could possibly start at safety. But I agree. Somebody said Joyner's going to work out in the nickel. I agree. I think he's that hybrid's going to move from corner and safety. I think they're going to use him all across the spectrum of defensive back. Not for starter time. No, I agree with you. A running back coming in for depth, not a starter. No, I don't even think that you have one that comes in as number 2. I think you bring in a number 3 running back, a veteran to stick on that. Right now, Doug Martin's not that veteran running back you want up there. Who's he gonna mentor? Now listen, I don't need him mentoring anybody how to take illegal substances and get suspended for 4 to 6 games. All right? No, thank you, Doug Martin. Don't be mentoring anybody. Let's actually bring, if we're going to put a veteran running back on the running back roster, why don't we put one that's actually going to help somebody? Just a thought. Fuck, I'd rather see Frank Gore, who somebody mentioned earlier, than I would see Doug Martin at the 3 spot on our running back tree. It's not a problem we're used to having, and that's great. What's up, Mark? What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me. As always, a little special solo edition. Big L's probably going to join me tomorrow for a special Raider Nation report, as we're going to get into, obviously, day 1 of training camp, man. Day 1 of training camp is upon us tomorrow. Yes. Finally. It's time to, man, we got to get this shit going. I'm so ready for football season. God, so ready, aren't you? Now's when you really get that Jones. Because it's so close now. Because you're going to start to see guys in pads. You're going to see hitting. You're going to have live action on the NFL Network. Nobody's out there yet. Dude, there's going to be guys cut and on the waiver wire. Only so many guys can make the 53-man roster. Right now, there's other guys on other rosters, somewhat in the same situation as Doug Martin. They're going to find themselves without a job. There's got to be somebody better than Doug Martin. Somebody. Shit. Send in an application. Please. Go to your local employment agency. Have them call the Raiders. Send them in an application at running back. Something. Just don't let us end up with Doug Martin. Surely you got a cousin that can carry the rock. Something. Somebody call him up. It's such a long time. But isn't that what makes football season so awesome? Football's like no other sport. I mean, I like hockey. Hockey's an exciting sport. But, there's 80-some fucking games. 82 games, what have you. Same the NBA. And the goddamn NBA's postseason is as long as the fucking regular season. Thing takes like 3 months. It's ridiculous. And then baseball. Jesus Christ. You go to a baseball game, you watch your team lose, you're like, fuck it. They play 5 more games this week. But football. 16 games. And every one means so much. And when they're done, they're done. And you're like, fuck. You're left with this void. But that's what makes it so great. I don't want more games. Don't cheapen and dilute the product. More games will cheapen and dilute the product. Don't fuck with anything. We added the wild cards. I think that's great. We added the wild cards years ago. That gives the team that gets hot at the end of the season a chance to make a run and get in. They still got a very hard trek to make it all the way. I like that. But other than that, man, don't fuck with it. You want to trim 2 preseason games? Go ahead. The 4th preseason game is fucking garbage. A bunch of insurance salesmen and fucking telemarketers the only things playing in that. Nobody's playing. It's going to make a roster. They're like, man, what are you doing next week? Give me a call, man. I'll be unemployed. You got a 4th string quarterback playing. You know, that dude's going to be selling cars. It's total garbage. And the first preseason game, you can damn near throw that the fuck out too, because you don't see hardly any of the starters. So really, you only see any major action in really 2 and 3. So if you want to, so what they were proposing was, we'll lessen the preseason games. We'll take 2 preseason games away, and we'll just link the regular season, but it's the same amount of games. No, the fuck, you can't. That's like comparing apples and fucking rocks. That's not the same. Taking away 2 preseason games that the majority of your starters don't even fucking play in anyway, and adding it to the end of a 16-game regular season? You think that's the same? Well, yeah, they were adding the 80s, Eric. It was forever ago. That's the only fucking changes should be made. So I'm saying, it was forever ago, and we shouldn't touch a fucking thing since. It was a great thing to add to wild cards, and that's it. We're done. It's perfect now. Leave it the fuck alone. It's lasted for how many decades? Don't dick with things. We've been 16 games and wild cards in the playoffs since decades ago. Leave it the fuck alone. It works. It's a great system. Billions of motherfuckers watch the Super Bowl. Countries watch that fucking game that don't even understand the game. That's how great it is. So, damn. Good Lord. Good Lord. So it's going to be very interesting. Oh, man. It's such an exciting time, man. So close. Everybody's 0-0. There's so much hope. There's so much optimism. If you've got somebody that's shitting on the team right now, then they're just a fucking trash-ass fan and should just get the fuck off the Raider train right now. Because if you can't be optimistic about your football team in fucking July, then what the hell kind of fan are you? Every fan should be optimistic about your football team in July. Everyone! If you're not a fan, how could you question your team in July? You couldn't be a fan of your team. You just couldn't. You should be everybody's 0-0. There's always a team in every NFL season that didn't make the playoffs the year before that makes it the next year. Every fucking year. Who's to say it can't be us? Somebody goes from worst to first every fucking year. It's sports. That's why we watch it. Because every time you watch it, you have the possibility of, I've never seen that happen before. Oh my God. Did you see that? And it's just not the same to watch it on the fucking replay as to watch it live and your jaw just... It's just not the same. That's why we go to sporting events. For that 1 second that makes you stand up out of your seat and go, holy shit, did you see that? That's why you go to sporting events. That's why we love it. Because is there anything else in your life that makes you stand up, spill your fucking $16 beer, spill your fucking $22 nachos, and say, yes! Been watching the Raiders score. Do you not forget about every fucking bill, everything you have in your life? You forget for that 1 second. And the only thing that matters is the Raiders just crossed the end zone. There's nothing else that gives you that besides sports. Namely, the National Football League. No, your children. Yes, but I'm talking... Come on now, Leslie. Don't drag it down. Of course, the children. Steal all my thunder, Leslie. Come on. First you call Steve Juice, and now this. Oh, did you see the post that I put up earlier? If you haven't, my son came home today. I got home from work late. Wife had already took him off football practice. Comes home today. They issued him his football pads and his Raider helmet. He's on the Riverview Raiders, and it was fucking awesome to see. Come walking in the door, Dad! I turned the corner and bam! There's my boy in his fucking football gear for the first time. Fucking awesome. It was awesome. So, we covered a lot today. Training camp's tomorrow. It's a very exciting time. It's here, man. 2019's here. Tomorrow. It's almost like fucking Christmas Day. We wake up tomorrow and we got football to play with. Yes. Live football. Raiders on the field. Hell yeah. Fuck yes. Raiders on the field. Finally. Meaningful practice. Something that finally means something. So, I thought since, it is a special training camp edition, and I'm usually not here on Mondays, but I'm by myself. You know what that means when I'm by myself? I like to wrap my shows up with a special little segment.
What?
Oh yeah, that special little segment. You know what it is. Oh yeah. It's called the WTF. Now, I've noticed a fucking horrible trend that is happening around the country over the past couple years. A horrible trend. And it is some sort of fucking abomination. And it really set into me in the last week. Because I was walking through Walmart, and which is, a private hell anyways, having to fucking go there. And I'm walking through Walmart, and I've already been bombarded with this item, this thing, for like the last week. And then I see this box of Hostess fucking cakes. And it's fucking Christmas trees. And it says, Hostess Cakes, Christmas in July edition. Like, so you're telling me this is now so much a fucking thing that we're making fucking snack cakes? Listen, Christmas comes around one motherfucking time a year, alright? I decorate my house up like Clark fucking W. Griswold. I got a whole bunch of shit I gotta dig out, and I ain't digging that fucking shit out twice. So whoever the hell came up with this fucking Christmas in July shit, what the fuck is next? Are we gonna fucking start doing fucking Thanksgiving in February? Let's do Valentine's in August. Fuck it. It's hot. We can hang out at the beach. I mean, what the fuck, man? Holidays belong where holidays belong. They're on the calendar. They're highlighted for a motherfucking reason. I store my shit based on the calendar, and I'm not digging it the fuck out again whether they make Hostess cakes about it or not. That's not a real fucking holiday. It's bullshit, it's fucking stupid, and don't you ever fucking invite me to a Christmas in July party, because I'm just gonna show up at your party to smack you, and I'm gonna leave. What the fuck? Thank you for joining me tonight. Training camp's tomorrow. I'm out. Peace, love, Raider Nation!